I can't think of a better topic to talk with you about today other than fighting through discomfort, being uncomfortable, being able to embrace being uncomfortable, if that would be psychologically uncomfortable, emotionally uncomfortable, physically uncomfortable. I tell you, out of 100% of the day, 99.99% of the time I'm talking with people, this is a theme. This is a theme.
This struggle got purpose and we grow. So whatever road we have to take next, all I need to know is that we'll roll with the punches.
Alright, y'all, just getting back from, or just leaving a school meeting, and you know, what's coming to the tippy top of my brain after this school meeting is what I always hear from counselors is, you know, if you can just get to school, then we can help you with the rest. And I think that's a big important point. Is really the struggle is getting to school. I know so many awesome counselors and so many people, administrators at the schools. I'm in schools all day, every day during the school year, so I'm very familiar that schools are so willing to work with students that are struggling in school, but you got to get to school. You got to get to school for them to be able to help you. And so that's a lot of my work in the mornings, is I'm zooming all around in and out of houses as kids are getting ready for school. I'm talking with parents, talking with kids, just, you know, working through the struggles of the morning, getting out of bed and all that kind of goes on, getting ready for school. But I think there definitely needs to be a protocol, a plan, a specific plan put in place. And so that's why I went to school today. Is I just love making sure that the home and the school is on the same page, and that we've got a good plan for the morning time at home. We've got a good plan for the school. Make sure they come together and we're all working together on this, y'all. It's true. It takes a village. And we all need to work together. So my point being is, if you can get to school, schools can work with you, but that's one of the biggest struggles. I know parents, I know kids, that's a huge struggle in the morning. That 6:30 to 7:30 time each morning is a huge, it's a difficult time for a lot of families. Okay, it's time for what's been coming up in client sessions. All right, y'all, what's been coming up in client sessions? I can't think of a better topic to talk with you about today other than fighting through discomfort, being uncomfortable, being able to embrace being uncomfortable, if that would be psychologically uncomfortable, emotionally uncomfortable, physically uncomfortable. I tell you, out of 100% of the day, 99.99% of the time I'm talking with people, this is a theme. Just people and their struggles are just uncomfortable. And a lot of times what they'll do is they'll wish that they were more comfortable. They wish they were more comfortable because things would just be a lot easier. And I get that, y'all. I get it. But wishing isn't going to do anything to solve it. Wishing's not going to do anything. In fact, what we do is we kind of turn this kind of upside down, and we think kind of in a way where we say, hey, I can be uncomfortable. I can be uncomfortable, and I can still get through this, okay? So we embrace that uncomfortable feeling, that discomfort. Oftentimes what I'll do is in the middle of treatment, later in treatment, is we'll design different scenarios where the client is going to be uncomfortable. The client's going to be uncomfortable, and we know that the client knows that he or she's going to be uncomfortable. They go into the therapy session knowing that they're going to be uncomfortable, and part of the therapy is learning how to manage through cognitive behavioral skills, is to manage dealing with that discomfort. That's part of the therapy, is learning how to manage that discomfort. So what that does is that builds that distress tolerance. So when that client is in those uncomfortable situations, they don't avoid the situations. When discomfort becomes intolerable, the first thing that clients want to do is they want to avoid that discomfort, because in the moment it makes it easier, but long term it's inevitable that that discomfort's going to come back, and it's going to come back. It's not going around the discomfort, it's going straight through it. Blood, sweat, tears, snot, diarrhea, vomit, whatever it would be, we're going right through. We're cutting right through the middle of that discomfort. We're embracing it, we're celebrating, we're saying, I'm strong enough, I can do this, I can handle it. We're really getting that mindset tippy top mindset to be able to work through it. That would be with kids that I work with. That would also be with parents trying to work with their children that are struggling, and the child's giving the parents some negative feedback, some negative kickback. We go right through Midwest anxiety. We go right into that discomfort, y'all. We're not scared of it. Whatever it is, we embrace it. All right, embrace that discomfort. Know that you're stronger, you're bigger, you're badder. Whatever it is that you're facing, you can handle it. Whatever it is, don't give me any excuse. But Randy, this, that. No. You're bigger, you're badder. Put that in your brain. Put that in your brain and go after it, y'all. Go after it. I don't care what it is. You're bigger and you're better. All right, it's a mindset. You can handle that discomfort. All right, go get it, y'all. Go get it. Okay, it's time for what's been coming up in client sessions. All right, parents, this is a good one. I need all parents that kids are just misbehaving. This is a good what's been coming up in client sessions. All right, kids, parents, listen up. When kids are struggling and they're misbehaving and they're being defiant, they're being oppositional, they're just not doing what you want them to do, all right? We have to develop a plan, and I work with all families on a behavioral modification plan that I created. But we have to work on a plan where we highly hold them accountable for their behavior. Which means that there are some times that parents are going to be inconvenienced. Let me say that again, because some of you families out there know that you've been inconvenienced by your child's misbehavior, meaning there are some things that you want to do as a family that if you did them, you would be overlooking or rewarding that negative behavior. And you can't do that. Even though it may inconvenience you, even it may change your plans, you can't follow through with those plans if your kids are misbehaving. Okay, we've got to hold them accountable, and we got to show them that behavior, that misbehavior, is going to be consequenced no matter what. No matter if you have a wedding to go to, no matter if you got tickets for Worlds of Fun, no matter if you're going on vacation. Like, that misbehavior, at some point you got to look at that misbehavior straight on, and you got to be like, okay, if this is how you're going to present, then all these things that we've got that are good, that are fun, we're going to have to deal with this misbehavior before we're able to move on. And I know for some of you families, that's a difficult situation, because sometimes you're out money because you paid for activities and events that you're just not going to be able to go to. or you're out, experiences like weddings or whatever it would be. But there has to be a point where you just have to directly deal with that misbehavior. For me, when a kid's when I'm in a session with a kid and they're misbehaving and they're being defiant, I don't have a session that's scheduled for a certain amount of time. My schedules are based on whatever we need to get done, we get done in that session. And if the child's not being cooperative, I just say the session's over. Just the session's over. We'll come back and revisit it. But until we can come back and we can talk about this and work through this, there's going to be consequences. So I'll just say, in a polite, courteous, kind way, I just like, well, it looks like we've reached the point today where we're done. And they're not wanting to be cooperative, and I'll just leave. And then what I ask is that the child is consequenced until we can meet again and the child can show a positive behavior. Why do I do that? Why, parents, do I do that? Because if we just moved on and they were able to play video games and they were able to do all the stuff that they were able to do, that they wanted to do, that's reinforcing that negative behavior. It's showing them that they can present with that negative behavior and still get what they want. And I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that at all. So I'll just stop the session. I won't negotiate. I won't continue to feed that negative behavior. We'll stop it, and then we'll come back and we'll revisit it. And until we do, there's a consequence in place. And that may be a day, that may be a week, that may be 2 weeks. The child has to know going into it, though, that if they make that choice to misbehave, then they make the choice to have the consequence. Okay, it's all about choices here. Am I making sense? Don't overlook things. Don't overlook things because it's just more convenient or comfortable. Don't excuse that negative behavior, that misbehavior, because it just is better in the moment to overlook it, because you're reinforcing it. You're reinforcing it. We can't do that. At some point, we just got to put our foot down and we got to just say, okay, we're dealing with this misbehavior directly. All right? All right, y'all? All right.
On track, now we gon' way up. W's as easy as a layup.